Want your landing pages to convert better? The data says keep it simple. Let's dive into a research report that's hot off the presses in this episode of Closing Time. Thanks for tuning into Closing Time, the show for go-to-market leaders. I'm Val Riley, VP of Marketing for Unbounce and Insightly. Today we have a very special guest on Closing Time. Meet my colleague, Alex Nazarevich, who comes from the Unbounce brand. With our merger, Alex is not only a guest, he will soon be a host of this show. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Hey Val, great to be here and really looking forward to being a host soon.
So Alex, for folks who might not be familiar with Unbounce and landing pages, could you just give a quick synopsis about what Unbounce does and why landing pages are super important for marketers?
Sure. So if you think of a marketing funnel, there's all these different channels and you don't want to drop them on your company's homepage because your homepage is doing everything for your company. Whether they're a newer returning user, whether they want to shop or they need help, whether they're showing you to friends or they're comparing you to a competitor. Unbounce lets you isolate one message and put it at the very bottom of your marketing funnel for super clear campaign messaging and to maximize conversion. So Unbounce is designed for marketers and agencies who are focused on maximizing visitor conversion. And unlike traditional website builders and all-in-one platforms, Unbounce allows marketers to seamlessly create on-brand landing pages, run A/B tests, and intelligently optimize traffic all on your own without tech support.
Oh, love it. So Alex, this report is all about conversion rate optimization. So what is a global conversion rate that marketers should be striving towards on their landing pages?
So before we get into the global conversion rate that we're seeing, let's talk a little bit about conversion optimization, or CRO. So CRO is the practice of testing and improving your marketing assets, often your landing pages, so they can convert more effectively. And an effective CRO campaign means that you're continuously improving. You're testing elements like copy, layout, images, videos, conversion type, call to action on your conversions to see what is going to take the maximum amount of traffic that's hitting your page and turning it into a sale, a newsletter sign up, a trial, etc. And the reason this is so important is the better that your landing pages perform, the more returns you'll see from your marketing campaigns. So for example, if you can boost the conversion rate on your landing page from 1% to 2%, that's a 100% increase in performance. You're doubling the number of email signups, number of customers, whatever you're trying to get, from the exact same amount of traffic. So you can see how that makes your funnel much more efficient. So let's talk about what you should be striving for. Looking at all industries, all landing pages that we analyzed, the median conversion rate across all industries is 6.6%.
Awesome. So let's talk about this conversion benchmark report. It's huge. It's something that marketers globally look forward to. It's been on hiatus for a couple of years, though. Could you describe to folks what it is and why you decided to bring it back?
Yeah. Aside from the fact that the world's a very different place now than it was in 2021, marketers can be guilty of overcomplicating their conversion rate optimization strategy. And the insights in this report really emphasize how you can make simple changes that have a big impact on conversion, which is what Unbounce is all about. We've seen over 57 million conversions come through the Unbounce platform in the past year alone. So we're confident that the report is the perfect tool for digital marketers and agencies to decide where to place their bets.
Great. So the report goes over some findings globally and then some findings based on industry. And so that we're talking about globally how landing pages performing, and then it's individually how some specific industries perform in terms of their landing pages. So can you talk us through what you've released now and then what's to come?
Definitely. So most of the insights that we're going to share today are going to be across all industries, but we also have a number of industries where you can dig in one by one. So far, we've covered health and wellness, financial services, commercial and professional services, SaaS, and e-commerce. And later this year, we'll also be launching insights for education, travel and hospitality, legal, and events and entertainment.
Awesome. Okay, so let's dig into some of the data. The first point that really drew me in was about reading levels, because just when we thought attention spans couldn't go any lower, it appears that they have.
Yep, apparently so. all the data pointed to one common thread, which is that if you're writing complex copy, it's a conversion killer. The two things that really came through most clearly are you need to reduce the number of difficult words in your landing page copy, and you need to write at a lower reading comprehension level overall. What's even more interesting is that the correlation between difficult words and lower conversions is actually 62% stronger today than it was in 2020. So yeah, if anything, our attention spans have gotten way shorter.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is in 2020, we might have had a little bit more time to sift through some copy and figure out the meaning, but today's reader is going so much faster. So we really have to keep that language super simple.
Exactly. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it direct and to the point.
Another key finding, Alex, was about mobile. And I thought this was super interesting. So it says mobile traffic is driving nearly 5x more traffic than desktop, but mobile visitors actually convert at a much lower rate. So what does that look like in practice?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think I'm alone when I say that I use my phone for most of my internet browsing activity, and I think largely consumers are doing the same. So you're right, we're seeing 5 times more traffic overall going to mobile versions of landing pages, but those same landing pages are converting 8% better on desktop. So why is that? Digital marketers are still, in the year 2024, not prioritizing the mobile versions of their campaigns enough. And the divide gets even stronger for certain industries. So if you look at health and wellness campaigns on average get 7 times more traffic on their mobile websites or mobile landing pages, but convert 22% better on desktop.
I'm curious about that. I wonder if that means that people check things out on a mobile device, but when they're ready to make a decision or take a positive step towards a company, that they're actually doing on the desktop? Or do you think that it's just the mobile experience isn't designed well enough for conversion, or maybe a little both?
I think it's both. I think for industries where you see high ticket purchases, I think most people are a little more comfortable booking hotels or buying airline tickets, on desktop, a big ticket purchase. But I do also think that some of the higher ticket purchases you see are in industries where they haven't spent a lot of time optimizing for mobile. So I really think it's a bit of both.
Great. Okay. So put that on our to-do list. Make sure the mobile experience is great. This next data point, Alex, I think is probably music to the ears of every CFO. It's about email campaigns. And, email is one of those really low cost channels for most companies. And this says that email campaigns were found to typically drive higher conversion rates than paid search and paid social.
Totally. So we can finally settle the debate that email is not dead. All of our inboxes are overflowing with marketing emails, and yet there's a reason for that because it works, full stop. We saw on average an email conversion rate of 28.6% for e-commerce industries specifically, and a lot of other industries weren't far behind. But before investing all your energy into email at the expense of other channels, it's important to remember there's other channels that are probably feeding your email subscriber base. So it's good to be cognizant that that's a bottom of funnel channel. Its job is to convert. If you're not converting well through it, then you really need to reinvigorate your email strategy and really look at some of the top converting channels further up the funnel that can continue to replenish your email user base with new signups.
Got it. Okay. I like the fact that email isn't officially dead. I know that's the big thing on social media. You have to say something is dead, but according to this data, that is absolutely not the case. There is a lot of data to dive into, as you mentioned earlier, in terms of industries. But there was one data point that was particularly interesting to me. It was about Instagram and financial services, two things that you don't think go together.
Yeah, so this is a great reason why you should really dig in and look at your industry specific data. Don't take my word for it in aggregate. Like 2 of the biggest channels where we saw the biggest discrepancies were in paid search and social respectively. So for financial services, all the data that we saw is adding up to tell us that simple visual campaigns convert better. And we also found that landing pages that were written at a really simple reading level, so a 5th grade to 7th grade reading level, so easier than reading Harry Potter, convert at 18.1% for financial services, which is higher than we ever saw for any other industry at that rating level. In financial services, simplicity is king.
Yeah, I wonder if that also speaks to the fact that the folks that are interested in financial services now are getting, younger generations, and they're looking at these platforms that are perhaps more, like you mentioned, visual or explanatory, because these are concepts that are pretty complex to a lot of people. So I wonder if that the change in generations is potentially influencing these really impressive conversion rates.
I think you're right. I think that financial literacy is really important and gets more so for every subsequent generation. And you're right, they're looking for information in an accessible manner that's easy to digest. And I can't think of a more natural fit for that than a channel like YouTube.
Alex, that's great information. Thanks so much for joining us today on Closing Time. There's so much to dive into in this report. Where can folks go if they want a copy?
Yep. So if you want to download the report, you can either go to unbounce.com. It's the first thing that you'll see on the website, or just click the link in the description.
Awesome. And Alex, really excited to have you as a host of the show in the future. So folks, get ready to see more of Alex. But for now, we're going to sign off. Thanks to all of you for tuning into Closing Time. Remember, you want to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a week, and we'll see you next time.